Anyone who thinks Peppa Pig isn't a cartoon full of mysteries is very mistaken. Some characters hide many secrets. Will we ever discover the truth behind these characters? Carol Cow. Carol Cow is one of the most mysterious characters in the entire Peppa Pig universe. She is a girl who has existed since the very beginning of the series, but the strangest detail is that she has never talked to Peppa, nor has she ever been part of Peppa's group of friends. She is the daughter of Mrs. Cow, who is one of Mommy Pig's friends, but the character never had any real space in the show. She appears when Peppa is visiting London. She also appears in the New York episode, when the Pig family is sightseeing around Times Square. In the episode where the Pig family is at the shopping center, she is walking next to her mother, and we always see her in the background of the scene, but the little cow does not appear on the day of her own mother's wedding to Mr. Bull. Why did the series create a character who appears in several episodes, but never became part of Peppa's friends? This is a mystery that the animation still needs to answer, but until then, we are going to show you 13 mysteries in Peppa Pig. You know what's starting. It's another awesome Cinewave! Aunt Dottie. Aunt Dottie is another character who is surrounded by many mysteries. She was mentioned at the beginning of the series, in the episode Shiny Wheels Pony, but she only appeared in the show in the 8th season, during the Thanksgiving story. The problem is that this aunt of Peppa is very strange. First, she gave her nephews a wheeled pony as a gift, which is very dangerous to be used in a place with many hills. So much so that Daddy Pig had an accident at the end. In addition, no one ever said that Aunt Dottie was Mommy Pig's sister, and for more than 8 seasons, Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig never mentioned that they had 2 daughters. Aunt Dottie also appeared to visit the family because she wanted to celebrate a holiday that does not exist in England, and that is very strange. Why does she live far away from the family? Does Aunt Dottie have children? Maybe we will never find out, but what do you think? Mrs. Rabbit. And everyone knows that Mrs. Rabbit is one of the characters who raises the most questions among fans. Does she have clones or sisters? Why does she have so many shops spread all over the world? And why doesn't any Mrs. Rabbit appear in Italy? There are so many questions that the series never answers. And how does she appear in so many places at the same time? There are several theories about Mrs. Rabbit having superpowers, but the biggest doubt about her involves another character, her twin sister, the mother of Rebecca Rabbit. Why is it that Mrs. Rabbit never appeared with other clones like her sister? It is almost as if she were the original daughter of Grandpa Rabbit, while all the others were just copies. But there is bad news. The mystery surrounding Mrs. Rabbit is one of the things that most draws attention in the series. Therefore, answering questions about her might not be a good idea for the creators of the show. In other words, you can forget about discovering the truth about this character. We will probably never know, at least not until the final season. Daddy Sheep. Where is Susie Sheep's father? Yes, this question is always asked by fans of the series, but it is a mystery that needs to be solved soon. If you pay attention to Susie's relatives, you will notice that all of them are female. Mrs. Sheep, Granny Sheep, who is also another mystery, Susie herself, and her cousin Charlotte. In addition, Peppa Pig has already visited many countries, and in none of them did a ram appear. It is as if male sheep do not exist. Because of this, many theories are created around Susie's father. Could he still be alive since Susie dreams of working as a nurse? Does he live in another country since Mrs. Sheep wanted to leave the city, perhaps to go after him? And besides that, could Susie's father actually be Mr. Goat? He could be, since sheep and goats can have offspring. What is the truth behind Susie's father? Would you like to discover the truth behind the mysteries in Peppa Pig? Comment #Peppa so we can find out. Narrator. And who is the narrator of the series? This character is one of the most powerful in the entire cartoon. He knows what is happening everywhere, he watches everything the other characters are doing, and he even knows what they are thinking. And this is something very dangerous because the narrator even knows what people are doing in the bathroom. You wouldn't like to have someone watching you on the toilet, would you? And the worst part is that the characters in Peppa's world don't even know that someone is narrating their lives. Maybe Mrs. Rabbit knows, but she will never tell the truth, right? Will the narrator ever appear someday? Is he an animal or a human being? Hopefully someday they will show the truth. Queen. The Queen is a character who is full of mysteries. One of the main secrets is about her family. On the 2 occasions when Peppa visited the Queen, this character never showed that she had a family. It seems that she lives alone and does not even have employees to help her with the work of the palace. And let's be clear that, in a house that large, it is necessary to have several employees to clean the rooms, sweep the floors, and wash the bathrooms. When Peppa went to teach the Queen how to jump in a muddy puddle, it was the head of England herself who went to get her boots, which would never happen in the real world, since the character is a tribute to Queen Elizabeth. And this is important because, since the head of England passed away, the character from the cartoon has not appeared in the series anymore. Does she still exist in Peppa's world? This is yet another mystery. Madame Gazelle, maybe you're tired of hearing about Peppa's teacher. Madame Gazelle is definitely an immortal vampire who has some secret plan involving the children of Peppa's town. We know this because she is the teacher of the little ones, and if you pay close attention, you'll notice that she allows younger kids, like George, to study alongside their older sisters, even though that makes absolutely no sense. If George studies with his older sister, then what was Peppa learning when she was his age? Do you see how this makes no sense at all? Maybe Madame Gazelle wants to do something with the children of Peppa's world. In addition, it has already been proven in the series, since the Halloween episode, that she has no reflection in the mirror, and that is proof that the teacher is a vampire. And you know what vampires eat, right? Is it really safe to let children stay close to this character? Hopefully she's a good vampire. Labrador. If you pay very close attention to Mr. Labrador, you'll realize that this character is a spy. We just don't know if he works for the Queen, for Mrs. Rabbit, or even for someone else. If there is any doubt, we're going to show you the evidence. In the London episode, you'll notice that he is standing in front of the Queen's palace, and when Peppa's group enters the castle, he is there watching all the characters. But he follows Peppa's family everywhere they go. He is in New York, in front of the famous Empire State Building. He is also in Paris when Peppa's family goes to visit the Eiffel Tower. Why does this character like to follow Peppa and her family everywhere? Could he be some kind of evil spy? Or maybe someone who wants to protect Peppa from a villain? Maybe we'll never find out. But what do you think about this? Is Mr. Labrador evil or a good friend? And if you're not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Click and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. Grandpa Rabbit. Grandpa Rabbit is a character who is surrounded by several mysteries. Let's start by saying that he is at least 100 years old, and for a rabbit, that is a very long time. In the episode Sea Treasure, he tells Peppa that he put that note inside the bottle 100 years ago, and that is a huge mystery. In addition, he has a rocket that he can use to go to the moon whenever he wants, and that is very strange for many reasons. He would need a lot of money for something like that, and Mrs. Rabbit, who is his daughter, could pay for it. But it is strange that this character travels to the moon so many times. Could he be doing something wrong? It's very possible because Grandpa Rabbit is a great scientist. Edmund. Speaking of great scientists, we can now talk about Edmund Elephant. This character is a calf who is only 2 years old and is probably the smartest boy in the entire series. This is where the whole mystery begins. Edmund is not old enough to know the things he knows, not because they are forbidden, but because there simply isn't enough time to learn them. It takes much more than 2 years to study the things Edmund knows, even though he is a small elephant with one of the best memories in the animal kingdom. In addition, since Edmund is a genius, why does he continue studying in Peppa's classroom? He should already be in college, shouldn't he? This is a big mystery that the series has never answered. Granny Sheep. Susie's grandmother is another character who is very mysterious. She showed up at the little sheep's house saying that she was going to live there, and she brought many beautiful and expensive objects, rugs from Morocco, a teapot from China, and even very beautiful ceramic vases. All of this is part of a treasure she owns. And this is very mysterious because she asked to live with her granddaughter and daughter as if she didn't have a place to live, and everyone knows that isn't true. Why did this character decide to leave her home to go live with Susie? Maybe it's because she's getting old and needs her daughter's company. Yes, that's possible, but everyone knows that, in Peppa's world, time doesn't pass. That's why the series is over 20 years old, and to this day, the main character is still a 4-year-old girl. And where did Granny Sheep get so many treasures? This is a mystery that needs to be answered, because Granny Sheep's travels must have been very exciting, don't you agree? Redbeard. The pirate Redbeard is a character who needs more screen time in the series to solve the mysteries that surround him. This character appeared in the episode Police Boat with a Treasure Chest. In other words, he is already a very rich pirate, but he keeps wandering around Peppa's town looking for something, like the day he appeared at the city's shopping center, hidden behind a plant. He is hiding and, at the same time, searching for something in the town, even though he already has some treasure. Could there be something important buried in the place where Peppa lives? We bet there is. Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox, who is Freddy's father, is a character full of mystery, because everyone in town knows he is a thief, but for some reason, he is never arrested. Everyone knows that the things he sells in his shop are stolen, but nobody does anything about it. There was even a day when he stole the things Emily Elephant was selling at the school fair, and everyone knows about it. In other words, the mystery about Mr. Fox is not whether he is a thief, because everyone knows he is, but why he has never been arrested. Does Freddy's father really have that much power? This is a huge mystery. Hopefully, one day the fans will discover the truth. It's almost over, but until then, you can stay with us. There are 2 super fun videos waiting for you. Thanks, and see you next time.